Game number 3 of this series about to get underway. It's Carter Fobb on the bump for the Generals. We'll take a look at the lineups here right after first pitch. For the Pilots, Carlos Sanchez leads off. He's playing right. Spencer Sullivan in left, batting second. Landon Hunt's been moved to the DH spot. He's hitting third. McKenna Olaso, the catcher, hitting fourth. As this is on the ground, Weekly back to the mound. Fobb fields, fires, one down. That'll bring up Sullivan. After Olaso, it's the third baseman Carlos Vega. Then Nazir Mendez is playing first, hitting sixth. Rodrigo Bravo, the second baseman, hitting seventh. Dorian Jackson is in the lineup, hitting eighth and playing center field. And Quatarium Walton is hitting ninth. He's the shortstop. It's fouled away. Jack Gallegos will be on the bump for the Pilots. And for the Generals, Fisher Einkhoff's over at first. Langley's at second. At third, it's Colin Ardwa. The shortstop still Lane Pontin. Left to right across the outfield, Blake Moss, Cade Labriere, Lane Kratzer behind the plate. Evan Rolf Shadle and Fobb on the bump. This is hit hard to right field. Kratzer moving over. And that's going to be caught. Took a second for the umpire to signal. But a great catch out there in right center by Kratzer. Here's Landon Hunt. Getting in that three spot again for the Pilots, and he's got himself a two-out knock back up the middle. Two outs and a runner on first for Olaso, who has caused all sorts of problems for the Generals pitching staff. Olaso had the grand slam yesterday. Couple hits in game number 2 of this series today. Low 1-0. Swing and a miss. A big hack there. 1-1 the count on Olaso. Fobb checks the runner at first. The 1-1. In the dirt. Rolf Shadle keeps it close. Check over at first. Diving back is Hunt. Here's the 2-1. It's outside 3-1. Ooh, home plate umpire gets real low in his stance. Popped up, foul territory over by the Generals dugout. Rolf Shadle. He'll make the catch and remain in play. That'll be the final out of the inning. The Pilots strand one. Langley, Labriere, Wilson due up. Bottom of the first inning, Langley leads off. And he will face Jack Gallegos. This final game, a 9-inning game. Over for a called strike, 0-1 to start the AB. In the fourth quarter, San Antonio and Texarkana 55-45, about 7 to play. On the ground, left side, Walton fields it. Fires across to Mendez for out number 1. Okay, Labruyere ready to stand in, lefty on lefty. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Fouls that one away. Count is 0-2. There comes Fisher Einkoff. The 0-2. Outside, trying to get him to chase after it and wouldn't. 1-2. Gallegos the 1-2. Swing and a miss, a little sword action there from Cade Lab, and there's 2 down. Here's Wilson. Back-to-back lefties in this Generals lineup, with Einkoff on deck. Misses low, 2-0. Hitters count. Wilson fouls it off. Eli Finley going after that one. Yep. 2-1. Here to Wilson. Evens it up at 2-2. High, counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, that's going to get back and out of play. So we'll try the payoff pitch one more time. Fouled. Skied on the right side, shallow right. Long way to go. That's going to get down. It'll be the shortest double of Wilson's season. Line drive in the box score, though. Brings up Einkoff with 2 down and a runner in scoring position. And they pick off Wilson. That will end the inning. We'll be back. Top of the second coming up. Top of the second, Vega will lead off. Back at third base in the series finale. Misses low 1-0. A little Soto shuffle there from Vega. It's 2-0. Fobb got out of the first 10 pitches, 6 strikes. And he'll give up a leadoff single here. Lab had trouble collecting it, but able to get that in before Vega can take advantage of it. Here's Mendez. Had a towering home run in the last game. On the outside corner, 1-1. Check on the runner at first, and Vega is back in time with a step and a dive. Just off the black, 2-1. Sword action 2-2. Here's the 2-2 offering from Fobb. Not before a check at first. This time just back in there is Vega. Here's the 2-2. Got him looking. First punch out of the game. Here's Bravo. Fouls off the first pitch. He got a piece of it. Vega got a good jump as it got past Rolf Schadel. Here's the 0-1 from Fobb. In the air, foul territory. Nobody's going to get there. It'll fall harmlessly to the ground, and Bravo will come back and do it again. Oh, and 2. In the air to right. Kratzer coming on, and he will not get it. Rounding second, heading for third is Vega. It's runners on the corners with 1 out. Now Jackson. His first plate appearance of the series. That one misses. Squares around, pulls back, and it's called a ball. Pilots looking to close out the sweep. 3-0. That one's over for a strike. Three and 1 the count. Bravo a safe lead off of first. Walked him, so the bases are going to be loaded for Walton. So the base is loaded and 1 out. An opportunity for Walton to do some damage. Inside. Bob struggling to hit the zone here this inning. And Rolf Schadl's going to go out and have a chat with his battery mate here, as he is a pitch away from walking in the first run of the game. And a get me over fastball is there for a strike. Walton taking dead red. 3-1, hitters count. In the air to right. Kratzer the catch, tagging at third. It's 1-0 Pilots on the sacrifice fly. Bravo and Vega advance. And it's back to the top of the order for Sanchez. An early lead for the Pilots. Fobbs set. And a pickoff throw to first. Jackson's back in time. In the air to right, Kratzer to his left. He'll track that one down as well. So the Pilots get just one on 2 hits. They leave 2 stranded. Fobb gets out of the inning without any more damage. We're heading to the bottom of the second. It'll be Einkoff to lead off. Einkoff leading off against Gallegos, and he fouls the first one back. 65-63 over at the Laborde Earls Coliseum. Breaking ball in for a strike, 0-2 on Einkoff. Swing and a miss. Einkoff down by way of the K. Strikeout number 2 for Gallegos. Now it's Moss in the lineup here for game 3. Upstairs. Gallegos 14 innings pitched in a 1.93 ERA coming into the ball game. Two and one. They get 3 and 1 missed high. Inside corner, goes to a full count, 3 and 2. Outside for ball 4, Moss, a 1-out walk. And now it's Kratzer. 289 on the season, 1 home run and 7 batted in. Fouls off the first pitch of the AB. And Jacob Brignac going out to retrieve that foul ball. Upstairs, 1 and 1. One offering. A lot of lefties in this LSUA lineup. Though I don't think the lefty-lefty split is as bad as it was back in the 90s and 2000s. It used to be that you'd have specific platoon guys and a snap throw to first back in times Moss. 3 and 1. We used to have platoon guys that would be lefty-specific. 3-ball, 1-strike count on Kratzer. Swing and a miss. It's 3 and 2. Here's the payoff pitch. Down in the dirt, back-to-back walks. Runners on first and second now for Ardwa. And it looks like we're going to have a visit to the mound here. They go out to talk to Gallegos. 29 pitches, 17 strikes for the southpaw so far. Trying to get him to settle back in. 2 strikeouts, 2 free passes in an inning plus and 1 hit. Home plate umpire going out. And of course they will break up the visit right. Why, yep, there it is. So with 1 out and 2 aboard, here's Ardwa. Does not have a hit yet on the season, still wearing the collar. That one's going to get by. And Olaso goes down in front of his own dugout. 1-0 the count on Ardwa. 2-0. Gallegos has lost the strike zone over these last 3 batters. Fouled away. 2-1. That one hit him. The bases are loaded. There's action in the Pilots bullpen. A right-hander is throwing. Robert Lastra is the right-hander throwing for the Pilots. Brad Nevendorf wasting no time getting some action going. That one's over for a strike. Nowhere to put the Generals catcher. Bases are loaded. Ducks on the pond. Prime opportunity for LSUA to drive in a run. Now a snap throw to third, and that's going to be in a left field. Olaso sailed the throw. Here comes Moss. Diving in head first is Kratzer. Generals lead it 2-1. Swing and a miss by Rolf Schadel. Ardwa up at second. And Rolf Schadel down by way of the K for the second out of the inning. So here's Patin. That's the dangers of when your pitcher is struggling to find the strike zone. Sometimes trying to do a little bit more than you should. And it ends up costing Shreveport 2 runs. That's 4 pitches in a row that have been in or around the strike zone from Gallegos. Patin squares, went after it, and then pulled back, and now Gautreau out of the dugout. And they're going to have a discussion. 0-2 the count on Patin. It did look like he jabbed at it and then pulled back. Here's the 0-2. Way high, 1-2. Breaking ball just misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a runner on second in the bottom of the second. Got 2s everywhere. Here's the double deuce. Swing and a miss, back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. The Generals Do get 2 on the throwing error by Olaso. He's up 3rd in the top of the 3rd. Spencer Sullivan will get things going in the top half of the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1, hitting .400 on the year with 20 runs batted in. He scored 24. This is in the air to right. Kratzer, long way to run. He's looking up, and it's foul. Just a long strike. 71-62 final in the Red River women's semifinal between Texarkana and San Antonio. The Jaguars moving on. This is hammered to right center. Labrier giving chase. He'll get under it for out number 1. That'll bring up Hunt. One for 1 on the afternoon. That'll get through the left side. 4th hit of the ball game for the Pilots. Here's Olaso, the catcher. Looking to make up a little bit for his throwing error in the last half. Breaking ball inside, 1-0. Misses down, 2 balls, no strikes. Fob. The 2-0. That is hammered to left center. It's his second home run of the series. That one got out of here in a hurry. Just like that, it's 3-2 Shreveport. He continues the damage that he has been unleashing on the Generals pitching staff. Fobb winds and delivers pitch number 1 to Vega. Right back at Riley Joe Terrio. Terrio sitting behind home plate. A catcher on the LSUA softball team. In the air, down the right field line. Kratzer, Langley, and Einkoff converge, and that will fall into the Bermuda Triangle. One out, a runner aboard. That'll bring up Mendez. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. That one misses. Two runs already in on the inning after the home run. Fouls that one away, 1-1. Two and one. Vega leads off a first. 2-1 from Fobb. Skips in, 3-1. Down the first base line. Only one player is moving, and now the home plate umpire is going to signal foul. Nobody made the call on the foul ball. And that's ball 4, so Mendez will reach with a walk, and it brings up Bravo. Cody Gotro coming out to have a chat with his pitcher. Just trying to settle down his starter here. The Jaguars advance over in Xavier and Shreveport on the women's side getting ready to play now. Fobb set with runners on first and second and one out. Bravo standing in, hitting in the 7 spot in the Pilots lineup. He's 1 for 1 today. Well, in this game at least. Make it 2 for 2 as he slaps that one through the left side. They will hold Vega at third. So the bases are going to be chock full of Pilots for Jackson. Bases loaded for Jackson. 2 already in this half inning. Takes a breaking ball 0-1. This will be pitch number 50 for Fobb. Breaking ball hit the other way. Tagging is Vega. That's going to be down. Everybody will advance 90 feet. And it's an RBI, and it's 4-2. Here's Walton. Sacrifice fly on the ledger for him. There's some action in the Generals bullpen now. Sending Maria Portas to the corner of the room to see if she can see down into the bullpen. Whoever is loosening is in the softball side barrel. Looks like Eli Finley may be loosening as this is hit foul. Kratzer's going to give chase. And it's down harmlessly. The 0-2 now from Fobb. Rolf Schadel, a nice job to get out of his stance to keep that from getting to the backstop. One and two the count on Walton. Upstairs, they'll ask down at first. He did not, so it's even up at 2-2. Four runs on 8 hits so far for the Pilots in game number 3. 3-2. Counts full. Payoff pitch. They'll ask again, and he did not, so it's a bases-loaded walk. 5-2. And it flips the lineup card over for Sanchez. And the first base coach having to dump the armor. He had a battalion's worth over there. upstairs. One zero. This is hammered to left center field. Break out the mustard and rye for the second time this series. It's a grand salami. Second big fly of the inning. It's 9-2 Pilots. It'll bring up Sullivan with a 9-2 lead now. Squares around, pulls back, ball one. One 0 from Fobb. Skied. Foul territory over toward the Pilots dugout, and it'll fall. Both Rolf Schadel and Ardwa had a long way to go. Look at the flow on Colin Ardwa as he puts the hat back on. That is some good lettuce on the Generals' third baseman. One swung on and missed 1 and 2. I mean, that makes some hockey players jealous, I'm sure. That's hockey, of course, the sport known for the hair, and up in Minnesota when their high school tournament rolls around at the end of the season, they actually do an all-hair team. 2 and 2 on Sullivan. And I think Ardwa's that's up there. Here's the 2-2 from Fobb to second. Langley scoops it up over to Einkoff for out number 2. And here's Hunt, who's 2 for 2. In the air, right field, and foul. Eight runs have scored in this inning. 6 of them have come off home runs. And this is in the air to shallow left, just behind the grass cut. Pontem makes the catch for out number 3. 8 runs on 6 hits. They don't leave anybody stranded. It's Langley, Labruyere, Wilson due up when we return. Langley leads off for LSUA here in the bottom half of the third. They trail 9-2 after the big 8-run inning from the Pilots, spurred along by a pair of home runs. Misses down. If you were keeping track of the inventory of the snack basket behind us, we've done some good work on it over the 2-day series. Langley pops this one up. Mendez, he's called off, and the catch is made right along the foul line. Again, we just want to thank Dr. Julie Gill for dropping those off. That's a couple weeks in a row now. We've had some sweets in the press box. A couple weekends ago, it was cupcakes and a couple cookies. Want to know the count on Labrier. Not often we get fed in the press box. Chop foul into the Generals' dugout. Look out. Pull side shift set up for Labrier. Two and one the count. Pulled that one foul. 2-2. Count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Labrier works a 1-out walk. Wilson 1 for 1. That average up over 300. 2 home runs and 12 batted in. And that one, it'll be a hit by pitch, and Wilson is in some pain. Aaron Corville out of the dugout to check on him, the Generals' athletic trainer. Wilson already trying to get back to the bag. He's good to go. Brings up Fisher Einkoff. And the Pilots are going to the bullpen, so we'll take a timeout, and we'll let you know who's coming in after this. Robert Lastra has taken over on the bump for the Pilots. Swing and a miss from Einkoff to open up the at-bat. Fouls that one away. Swing and a miss. Einkoff down by way of the K. Lastra strikes out the first hitter he faces. And now it's Moss with 2 out and 2 on. Jordan Ardwa having a couple words with him before he steps in. Lastra set and delivers. Breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1. Upstairs, now a snap throw to second. That's going to get into center field. And chaos on the base path. Mendez. It's runners on first and third. In for a strike, 0-2. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. The Generals leave 2 stranded. Olaso, Vega, Mendez due up. Olaso leading things off In the top of the fourth, Fobb back out. He's thrown 65, make it 66 pitches. As Olaso fouls that one off. He's 1 for 2 with a pair of ribbies. Oh, and 1 from Fobb. Another breaking ball, another foul ball, 0 and 2. Olaso has had himself a weekend. Probably good enough to contend for the RRAC Player of the Week. Here's the 0-2. Misses inside, 1 and 2. Another one down in the dirt. 2 and 2. That ball gets tossed to the dugout. Here's the double deuce. Fisted it into right and shallow. Langley a long run. He'll make the catch. Vega's 2 for 2. Pops the first pitch he sees just down, and it is going to fall foul. Gautreau shaking his head in the dugout. Vega hitting .357 on the season. Breaking ball swung through at 0-2. Through the left side, third hit of the game for Vega. And Cody Gautreau coming out of the dugout. Looks like that will do it for Carter Fobb, so we'll take a break, and we'll have the new pitcher when we come back. Eli Finley has replaced Carter Fobb. And Finley will face Mendez. The book not fully closed on Fobb, as he's still responsible for the runner at first. 1-1. Vega leads off at first. Fouled away. 1-2. Brignac goes to get that one. And Finley hits the first batter he faces. And here's Bravo, who's 2 for 2 in game 3. First pitch fouled off. Einkoff not going to get there. Falls, and it's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Finley 7 2/3 innings worked on the season, an ERA of 7.04. He might be asked to eat a couple innings here in this game. Outside, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Bravo struck out for the second out of the inning. Here's Jackson, who's 1 for 1 with an RBI and a walk. First pitch, EC's taken for a strike, 0-1. The Pilots over in women's basketball in the Red River semifinal, leading 21-14 over Xavier. That's in for a called strike. It's 0-2. Went up high. Jackson didn't go with him. 1-2 the count. Good block by Rolf Shadle, keeps it close, evens the count at 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Fouled away. Walton waits on deck. Pair of sacrifice flies for him. He's driven in 2. Still has not registered an at-bat. Runners going. It's chopped foul. And he hit him. Back-to-back hit by pitches, and the bases are loaded for Walton. Back-to-back hit by pitches. And it's down 1-0. Fouled away. Two and one. Ralph Shadle, a nice job. Get the glove to it there. Here's the 2-1. Fouled away, 2-2. The double deuce. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the home plate umpire, and that would leave the bases loaded. It'll be Kratzer, Ardois, and Rolf Shadle due up. And now a discussion between Brad Neffendorf and the home plate umpire. He'll head back to the dugout, so we'll be back right after this. Kratzer will lead off here in the bottom half. Swinging first pitch, laced it foul. Evens it up at 1-1. Two and one from Lastra. Call the strike on the outside corner. In the air to left. Sullivan has it for out number one. That'll bring up Ardois. Still looking for his first hit of the season. just misses 1-0. Another one just off the black, 2-0. Olaso tried to frame it. That one's going to be in there, 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2, a healthy hack there. Foul tip back into the mid of Olaso, and Ardoin is down swinging for out number 2. And Rolf Schadel, 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the ledger thus far. In for a called strike. Oh, and 2. The Bender finds the strike zone. 28-21 over at the Laborderos Coliseum. Early portion of the second quarter. Shreveport leading Xavier in the second women's semifinal. A little extra on that one from Lastra, 2-2. To right center. Sanchez makes the grab on the run, and the Generals go down in order. It'll be 1, 2, and 3 due up for the Pilots when we return. Well, here's Sanchez. He'll start things off at the top of the 5th. Finley back out. It's low, 1 ball, no strikes. Finley threw 20 pitches, 12 strikes so far. On the ground, up the middle, a 2-hopper will get through. And the Pilots have their leadoff hitter aboard. Sullivan 0 for 3. Squares around a bunt, gets it down. He's got himself a bunt single. Two on, nobody out. Here's Hunt. He's 2 for 3. He'll square around a bunt, pull back for a called strike. That was the 12th hit of the ball game for the Pilots. They've held the Generals to just 1. Opposite field, a good piece of hitting from Hunt. That'll get down and a run will score. The runners on the corners. Nobody out for Olaso. One for 3 with a pair of runs batted in for the catcher so far on the ledger. Runner going from first, and Hunt will have a stolen base. Runners on second and third now. Nobody out. A 10-2 ball game. That one gets away from Rolf Schadel. Now a play at the plate. He'll slide in safely. You know the count on Olaso. He hasn't gotten anything to hit in this at-bat. But it's 11-2. He was sitting dead red on the 3-0 fastball, got it and missed it. 3-1. Three and one the count. Breaking ball in for a called strike, counts full. Vega waits on deck. He's 3 for 3. Checked his swing. The last down at first. He did not go around. So it's ball 4. Runners on the corners. And they'll have a runner for Olaso at first. So Harden will run it first. Swinging first pitch and fouling it off. Oh, and 1 the count to Vega. On a line to short. It's going to get by Patin. Into second goes Vega. So it'll be a single for Vega. That'll bring up Mendez. And it's a 12-2 ball game, and Mendez a big hack on the first pitch he sees. Oh my. High and deep, but not deep enough. Labruyere makes the catch. It'll get a run home. It's a sacrifice fly for Mendez. And it's 13-2. Call the strike. Oh, that one's fouled off the home plate umpire. He's okay, caught the shin guard. Breaking ball inside. 2-2, just one out here in the inning. (37-31) over in the Shreveport Xavier women's game. 3.5 to go in the second quarter. And Finley's hit his third batter. Runners on the corners for Jackson. And that's going to get Gautreau out of the dugout. And it looks like Finley's day will be done. So the Generals will make a pitching change and we'll take a timeout. We'll be right back after this. The lefty Collins in to face the lefty Jackson. The two runners on base belong to Finley. Starts him out with a strike, 0-1. Just one out in the inning. Fouled away. And count is 0-2. Runner going at first. Bravo will have a stolen base. 1-2 the count here on Jackson. Evens it up at 2-2. Three and two. Breaking ball, punches him out looking. Second out of the inning. Brings up Walton in the 9-hole. Misses on the first pitch, 1-0. Collins' fifth appearance of the season. Big hack from Walton, 0-2. He's 2-0. An ERA of 1 and a whip of 1.44. Struck out 8 and opposing hitters with an average of 229 against him. 3-1 to Walton. Check swing, and I'll say he did go around, so it's full 3-2. And it's a walk. The bases are going to be loaded with 2 outs for Sanchez, the top of the order. Sanchez with 2 hits on the day, one of them being a grand slam. He's driven in 4, scored twice. On the ground is short. Patin flips to Langley, and that will end the inning. Four runs on 4 hits. They leave 3 stranded. Patin, Langley, Labruyere due up. Defensive change for the Pilots. Andrew Perez has come on behind the plate. So Olaso has terrorized the Generals pitching staff for the last time this weekend. Lastra pumps over a strike. A chopper up the middle. Walton on the run, got him. One down. Here's Langley. Oh for 2 on the day. That one misses down. And there goes Jordan Ardois. Here's the 1-0 inside. Three and 0. They get 3 and 1 as a get me over fastball is there. On the ground, a short. Walton comes in on it. Fields fires out 2. Back-to-back ground outs to the shortstop. Here's Labriere. 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Misses outside, 1-0 to open the at-bat. Fouled away. Lastra wasting no time on the mound, works very quickly. In the air, and it'll get out of play. 13-2, Pilots leading. If Lastra can finish off this inning, he would be in line for the win. Two and 2. Yanked it. Foul. Down by the tarp in the right field corner. LSUA still with just 1 hit in the game. Their 2 runs came back in the second on a throwing error by Olaso. 2-2 outside corner, strike 3. Got him looking to end the inning. It'll be Sullivan, Hunt, and Perez due up. So a host of changes for the Generals here defensively. Austin Morris has come in at first. Jeffrey Fontenot in at second. Caden McCullough is now the third baseman. Colin Ardois moves over to short. Tinarello is in center. Brett Battiford is in right. And Jamari Valerie has come on behind the plate. As the benches start to empty out a little, or quite a bit. It's a called strikeout in the corner, 2-1. Breaking ball in for a called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Collins, the 2-2. An end capper foul. Still 2-2 count. Three and 2. As it skitters away from Valerie. Count full. On the ground and foul. Sullivan hanging around. Tag to right center. Tinarello giving chase. And he'll run that one down for out number 1. One down, here's Hunt. It's outside, 1-0. There's action in the Generals bullpen. At least, no, there's a right-hander throwing. Like Charlie Guidry. This is in the air, shallow right down the line. And Batterford's got it for out number 2. Perez gets his first plate appearance of the ball game. Came on defensively in the last half inning. One and one the count, evens it up. Just inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Two-thirds of a swing, and it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Back up the middle, and it'll roll through. Perez has his first hit of the season. Here's Vega, who's 4 for 4 with an RBI. Collins misses. It's 1-0. Good lead over there at first. 2-0. On the ground is short. Hardwan is second, and he's out. Harden chose not to slide, and it cost him. It's Wilson, Morris, and Moss due up when we return. So the changes continue for the Generals. Thibodeau will pinch hit for Wilson. First pitch, a called strike. As Virat Siaharith comes on in relief. 0-2. 89-91 from the right-hander. The 0-2 didn't bend. 1-2. A fastball slider mix. And Thibodeau's got himself a hit. That brings up Morris. The first time he's getting a chance to hit in this ball game. Big hack 0-1. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. In there, 1-2. Thibodeau single just the second of the game. Ooh, that one caroms. And Thibodeau will scoot up to second on the wild pitch. Swing and a miss. Morris down. Here's Moss. With one out. Upstairs. Two and 0 the count to Moss. Sahara out of the stretch. 3 and 0. Batterford's on deck. Ooh, get me over fastball, misses just low. 4-pitch walk for Moss. Batterford's first plate appearance came on defensively. On the corner, called strike 0-1. Fouls that one away. 0-2 the count. Foul tip that one right back into the mitt. Strike 3. And here's Colin Ardois. Yeah, they're going to go to the bullpen. So we'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the new pitcher. Reese Francis on in relief. That mini verse brought to you by Braden Stacy. Francis making his third appearance of the season, 1.2 innings of work. He's walked 2 and allowed 1 hit. The junior right-hander has a sidearm delivery, and this has popped up, foul territory. Mendez moving over. He'll have it to end the inning. We head to the top of the 7th. Mendez, Bravo, Jackson, due up. So in the top of the 7th, Charlie Guidry has relieved Zach Collins. Guidry in his 5th appearance of the season, the first time out of the bullpen, a record of 0-3 over 7 2/3 innings. This is down the left field line, and did he make the catch? He did. Blake Moss up against the wall. Now 8 innings of work on the season for Guidry. It has been a tough start to the year for him. He's 0-3 with an ERA of 18.78, a whip of 3.91, and an opposing average against of 425. That one's fouled away. He does have 11 strikeouts, though. Over a strikeout per inning. Here's the 1-1, 2-1. Fouled off at his feet, 2-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed for out number 2. Two down. And here's Jackson. Watches the first one for a called strike. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. Runs inside, 1-1. Fouled off. There's Jacob Brignac out to get the ball again. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball fouled out of play. Two and two. Three and two. Payoff pitch from Guidry. Walked him. With 2 outs, the Pilots have a runner aboard. And it looks like they're going to bring a pinch hitter to the plate. So Hennon will hit for Walton. And takes one off the shoulder. Back to the top of the order. Here's Sanchez, who's 2 for 5 with a grand slam, 4 batted in. Breaking ball misses 1-0. That one gets away from Valerie. And the runners advance on the wild pitch. Two and 0 the count. Swing and a miss. He was trying to hit his second home run of the day there. He might have been asking the home plate umpire if that would have been ball 3. It certainly was close. Here's the 2-1. In the dirt, another wild pitch and it is 3-1, and that's going to make it 14-2. 3-1 the count on Sanchez. Finds the outside corner. Count runs full. Here's the 3-2. skipped it in, a 59-foot fastball. There's going to be runners on the corners for Sullivan. Kobe White running at first. Sullivan swinging first pitch. This is into center. And the catch is made for out number 3. They get 1 run. They leave 2 stranded. Valerie McCullough-Fontenot due up. So Galaz has taken over on the bump, and Nate Davis has come on to catch. White remains in the game in right field, and Walton has come back on at short. First pitch to Valerie, a ball, 1-0. 2-0. Three and 0 just misses. Shreveport wanted that one. Four-pitch walk to Valerie. Dooley comes on to run at first. Swinging first pitch. He's popped it up. Shallow left. Catch made by Sullivan. Here's Jeffrey Fontenot. 250 on the season, 2 runs driven in and 4 runs scored. Dropped in for a strike, 1-1. Galaz 4 2/3 innings on the season coming into today, a 3.86 ERA. On the ground, right side. That one's going to slip through for a hit. And up to third goes Dooley. So with one out, runners on the corners. And Shreveport's going to the bullpen. So we'll take a timeout in a 14-2 ball game. Cade Robin takes over, trying to get the final two outs. Runners on base belong to Galaz. He'll face Tinarello. Tinarello swinging first pitch, pops it up, foul territory. Vega giving chase, it's into the bullpen. Thibodeau on deck, remaining in that designated hitter spot. There's the 0-1 from Robin. Off the glove of Davis. And Fontenot will advance on the pass ball. Runners on second and third and a 1-1 count. On a line, picked it first by De La Cruz, and a run scores. Everybody advances 90 feet. And here's Thibodeau. 14-3 now. The Generals still need to score 2. Swinging at the first pitch, Thibodeau. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. On the ground is short. Walton. Long throw across. The stretch at first. Held the bag. They got him. That'll do it. The Pilots sweep the series. They take Game 3, 14-3. For all of us here at LSUA, I'm Caleb Dunlop. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend.